This is week 3 of a dynamic effort squat session. This is Austin Baumgarten using the cambered bar. We used the cambered bar for 2 weeks before this, and we got the a light band doubled up on there as well, which adds about approximately 150 to maybe 200 pounds at the top of the lift. Again, the bands are accommodating resistance. They're lighter at the bottom, heavier at the top, making you produce more force. This is myself here with about 545 pounds. The 2 previous weeks was getting in a lot of volume, and this last week the volume comes down a little bit and the intensity is picked up. Intensity is referred to by the weight on the bar, not how loud you scream and go crazy or how much heavy metal music you play. Intensity is determined by the weight on the bar. So on this day I did about 4 sets of regular dynamic work using 500 and I did a few sets with 545 as well, and then started to work up. And pretty much everybody in the group worked up. Jim here, I don't think he worked up. He pretty much stuck with around 365 for most of his sets. When we count the weight that's on the barbell, for the most part, we just count it. We count that as a 45-pound bar. That bar may weigh 55 or 60 pounds, but just for sake of confusion and everything, we pretty much just say, you know, it's just I don't know what's going on there. Jessica's having a good old time. She's milking the monolift for all it's worth, I guess. But this is the kind of stuff that happens in here all the time. You know, we play hard and we have a lot of fun. You know, we work our asses off in here, and but you can't work your ass off and be so stiff about it all the time. So we like to relax and have a good time at the same time. Here's Robot again. Again, Robot's got that real upright position. He worked up and weighed a little bit. You can see he's got a suit bottom on there too. Gets a real good strain, like a max effort day. He actually treated this pretty much straight up as a max effort day for himself. He didn't do any previous speed work because he knows that he won't be able to make it in on Tuesday, which is typically our max effort day. This workout was done on a Saturday. So there's going to be situations that come up like that, and you're just going to have to, you don't want to just go on autopilot and be like, oh, it's speed day. You know, you want to try to modify the system to fit your needs. That's what the conjugate method is all about. You want to try to manipulate it and make it work the best for you. Now we're starting to get into some heavier weights. I believe we got around 6 plates on there. And anytime I can handle these kind of weights in just a pair of briefs is real good for me. I'm not a very good box squatter by any means, especially in comparison to what I squat in the meet. Here's Jim. He started going up in weight a little bit. We actually just went to a mobility certification course where we were lucky enough to talk with listen to Kelly Starrett from mobilitywod.com, and he helped explain to us a lot of the reasons why we squat the way we squat. Obviously, I was mentored by Louis Simmons, so I pretty much know the reasons why, but it's good to hear, you know, from somebody who's in the medical community. Kelly's a PT, and a great one at that, and it's good to hear his expertise on it as well. See, now I got a little heavier weight, trying to stay as tight as possible, keeping the stomach real tight, still forcing those knees out. And I believe that was around 675 there. We got a little dancing going on. Got all kinds of shit going on these days. But Kelly, you know, in the mobility certification was talking to us about, talking quite a bit about hip and shoulder mobility. And I have real poor internal rotation of my left hip, and therefore I have the hip impingement. So that's going to be something I'm going to really start to focus on. If I don't focus on it, if I neglect it, then it'll just get worse and worse and worse. That was Austin Baumgarten nailing a 545 deadlift off the blocks. And this is me just getting naked. This is just some random footage. You know, this is kind of the aftermath. Trying to regroup, trying to think about doing some assistance work. Looks like Juan's thinking about eating and thinking about porn. The 2 things that pretty much consume his brain 24/7. Here's Austin going again. 545. Did a pretty good job keeping his positioning there. And actually, when I was watching this lift, it started to slow down so much I couldn't believe that he locked it out. So I mean, that's some big progress for Austin. He's not known as a deadlifter, so that was pretty good weight right there.